At Supademo, we work with customers daily to help them craft compelling interactive demos for better storytelling. And whether it's for sales enablement, product marketing, or for improving your onboarding, we believe interactive demos are higher converting and more memorable alternatives to demo videos. In this lesson, I want to share 7 simple tips to help you create better interactive super demos, which are lessons learned from analyzing and working with the top 1% of demo creators within our customer base. So let's dive in. Tip number 1, storyboard your benefits and aha moments. So what I mean by this is instead of blindly jumping in and starting to record, try to map out all of the standout benefits and the aha moments and the hooks that you want to highlight within your interactive demo. Think deeply about this and jot them down on a notepad and try to map it out on a screen by screen basis if possible. After you come up with, say, the 2, the 3, or the 5 aha moments within the demo that you want to dispatch, tie these to outcomes that the ICP can expect to receive through your feature or benefit, and make sure this is highlighted, whether it's through the text or the voiceover that you want to use for each slide. Tip number 2, skip unnecessary steps. Now, this really depends on the type of demo that you're creating. For example, this advice might not be as apt for technical workflow training, but in principle, I would try to limit the number of unnecessary steps, voiceovers, or even jargon within your workflow. The intent of most of your super demos will be to highlight key moments, not highlighting every single detail about a feature or product, or even having snippets that simply say, click here. For really complex products where you do need to be detail oriented, I would recommend using showcases to chunk out complex features into step-by-step modules, or use conditional branching to let viewers choose their own adventure. Reading off the list here, number 3 would be to tailor based on specific use cases and where the customers are or prospects are in their journey. Depending on how qualified a lead is, what their use case is, whether they have or are already a customer, or where they are in the sales pipeline, you should try to have a library of different super demos with variations on detail, length, and use case. For instance, general website demos should be less than 10 steps in length and often have no voiceovers because customers are just coming on and learning about what you do, and they're coming in very unqualified. In contrast, a technical onboarding demo might be better served, again, by a branching demo, something that is a little bit longer and detail-oriented, or by a modular step-by-step showcase collection. Scrolling down here, tip number 4 is to use chapters or text to always set expectations for the viewer. If possible, you want to clearly articulate the expected investment or the effort that the viewer will have to put in right at the start. Using an intro chapter, you can let them know maybe the expected steps or time. For instance, explore Super Demo in 8 clicks, or 3-minute self-paced product tour. What this does, it helps ease pressure and it eliminates implicit friction, meaning more users are going to come in and view and engage with your super demo, which is the intended result we all want. I, for one, as a consumer, always look at timestamps when I see videos on websites and almost never click anything more than 3 minutes. In the same vein, this is where you can reduce that perception of time and investment for customers implicitly upfront. Going down to tip number 5, is to add call to actions throughout the demo. And what I'm getting at with this is to don't just rely on adding a call to action or a CTA at the last step of the demo. By checking in and adding pathways for customers to convert, whether it's in the beginning, the middle, end, or through the CTA on your demo share page, you can maximize the number of conversions and meet customers at their unique point of readiness. Tip number 6 is to add branding and design variations. To me, it's quite wild. We have tens of thousands of people creating super demos, and um, many of them don't bother to change the default hotspot colors or even the text to match their brand theme. So just by simply changing the colors, adding your logo on the demo share page, um, and using different hotspot variations, whether it be the area hotspot, the callout hotspot, or the pointer hotspot, um, just going a little bit above the expected can make a massive difference on viewer engagement. And all of this doesn't take very long, so I highly recommend spending a minute, 2 minutes to set this up for every single super demo that you create. Or if you're lazy, you can even set up a custom default CTA or logo or hotspot style across every super demo within your workspace. Last but not least, my last tip is to personalize using variables and tracking links. This is in the same vein as personalizing for each unique use case. But by using variables such as, injecting custom role name, company name, regions, company size into your super demo, you can essentially use one template to personalize the experience for many, many, many viewers. And while doing so, you can track specific users' viewership and engagement throughout the entire process. And what this lets you do is it helps you identify bottlenecks within your super demo on a step-by-step basis where people are dropping off, measure engagement, and kind of measure that on a month-by-month basis to see if that's improving or decreasing. It helps you track and export your leads and make ultimately data-driven decisions and analyses on how you can improve your interactive demo experience. So all in all, this is not an exhaustive list, but hopefully by implementing one, if not all, of these tactical steps, you can start creating higher performing super demos for whatever your use case you envision. So hopefully this was helpful.